Hey everyone, it's Mr. Hollywood, and today is day 2 of my 30-day posting streak. And today, I am going to be giving my top 5 favorite horror movies of all time. Now, to make this list, it was actually a little bit tough to kind of determine what is a horror movie because there were actually some honorable mentions, as you'll see, that would actually have made the list, but I don't feel like they're quite horror, because just because something has horror elements doesn't necessarily mean it's a horror movie. So this is kind of like what it would be if I were to make a top 5, top 10 action movies, because obviously there's some that are like have action in it, but like aren't necessarily action movies. But I will give some honorable mentions, and 2 movies I feel like have horror elements in it but aren't quite horror movies, so they didn't make the list, but they would have otherwise, are The Sixth Sense and Seven, which would actually be number 1 if I did count it as a horror movie, but I didn't quite count it as a horror movie, so it didn't make the list. And then one movie that I just missed out on the top 5 was Scream. I know this is like probably like widely regarded as like a top 3 horror movie, and I do like Scream quite a bit. However, there are 5 I like a little bit more. So coming in at number 5 is Weapons. I said yesterday this might be my favorite horror movies, and I have determined it is my number 5 favorite horror movie. It could be recency biased, however, I've already seen it 3 times, more than any movie above it. So, yeah, Weapons, I loved Weapons. I loved the story. I thought the story was so unique. I thought the performances by the actors were great. Especially Amy Madigan and Josh Brolin. And I thought the climax, while it wasn't as great as the first 2/3, and I do even arguably think it fell off a bit in the final battle, like I said yesterday, it still left me mostly satisfied with the film. So overall, I do love Weapons. I think it is a great movie, and it is my 5th favorite horror movie. And before I give you my top 4, I just want to say up front, I am kind of a casual horror fan. So there are some horror movies that are like considered classics that I haven't seen, like The Nightmare on Elm Street. So just keep that in mind when I give you my top 4. But my number 4 is Psycho. Psycho, I thought, was just amazing. I loved the whole story. I loved the whole mystery element to it to an extent. And I thought Norman Bates was just an amazing character. And I love how it subverts your expectations in the first 20 minutes. So yeah, Psycho was truly an amazing film. I mean, it's so well directed, so well written. And I feel like Alfred Hitchcock just did an amazing job with the film. Now, coming in at number 3 is The Thing, my favorite John Carpenter movie. And I was fortunate enough to go to a John Carpenter concert 3 days ago, and it was just amazing. The Thing is my favorite John Carpenter movie because I feel like the story is just the most interesting, and I also loved Kurt Russell in this film. I thought he did fantastic, and I do love the ambiguous ending to the film. And visually, it actually looks very unique, especially for its time. It is crazy to believe this film didn't actually do so well when it came out, but now it's came around to become a classic. And The Thing is just truly amazing. It is my 3rd favorite horror movie of all time. But my number 2 is Silence of the Lambs. Just like Seven, I was kind of debating if I want to call this a horror movie, but I would end up calling it a horror movie, and it is my 2nd favorite for that matter. I mean, Silence of the Lambs is just so entertaining, so thrilling from start to finish. I love Clarice Starling as a character, and of course I love Hannibal Lecter, who is one of the all-time great movie villains. And I just thought the thriller elements to this were just so interesting, and I just thought the whole story and just the suspense, it was just so entertaining. It was just so well done, and I think it is an amazing movie, and it is my 2nd favorite horror movie. However, my favorite horror movie of all time, by a country mile, is The Shining. I mean, it isn't even particularly close between this and Silence of the Lambs. Now, I know actually my all-time favorites, they're actually probably like 5 or 6 spots. However, I do still clearly like this more than Silence of the Lambs. Which is saying a lot, because I already adore Silence of the Lambs, but The Shining is just on a whole nother level. I loved Jack Nicholson in this film. He did an amazing job as Jack Torrance. I love Shelley Duvall as Wendy Torrance. I thought she did great. I thought the son, Danny Torrance, was also a really interesting character. And I haven't actually seen Doctor Sleep yet, which is the sequel to Shining, but I do want to see Doctor Sleep. And also, because I've become a big Stephen King fan, I definitely will want to check Doctor Sleep out. But yeah, I mean, The Shining was just so wonderfully directed by Stanley Kubrick. I just thought it was so well acted, so well written. I just thought the story was just so interesting and just so unique. And I just thought the entire movie was just so entertaining. So The Shining is my favorite horror movie of all time. So thanks for watching. Feel free to share your favorite horror movies down below in the comments. And I cannot wait to continue with my 30-day posting streak. Now, thanks for watching, and peace out.